Hi there, my name is Sheila Beck, and indeed you're the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And I have been reading The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Century 1969, and this is one of my ongoing reviews of Alan Moore's League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which I wanted to review the entirety of it from beginning to end. But I discovered reading the text stories at the back are really vital when I saw there was an incredibly important piece of information you could only get if you read those. So it's taken me a lot longer, but I wanted to do 1969. Before I recorded the review of 1969, I wanted to be basically finished reading 2009. So that was going to come much quicker, and then we're going to do the small novellas before I start on the mammoth giant Tempest, which I'm still reading. It's still like there's just so much information to plow through there, which it's not a normal reading experience. It takes a lot of work and a reasonable amount of investment. Is it worth it? Is the investment worth it? It depends on how much you like Alan Moore. Like I'm fascinated with pretty much everything and anything he's got to say, and I generally speaking find his work both what's the word I'm thinking? Educational, inspiring, and entertaining. Even on the stuff this is perhaps the least entertaining of his work, but I still think for me it's worthy of merit. So before we get into it, can I ask you, can you guys hit the subscribe button? That will be absolutely fantastic. I'm extremely grateful. Thank you very much. I want to show you my gratitude. Go and go and check out the video notes. There is a Doctor Who audio adventure you can download. The link is right there. Also, I give stuff away each week on the channel. What I'm giving away this week is the fantastic Carnival of Monsters, Jon Pertwee Doctor Who story. All you need to do to win it is subscribe to the channel. Subscribing being awfully important from my point of view. Subscribe to the channel and then leave the hashtag miniscope. Go and check the video notes to see what the hashtag is. Look, if you get close, I'll count it. Doesn't matter. I'm deciding to put miniskirt, whatever you put there, I will count it. But go and check the video notes. It's all written there. We're going to do the drawing on the 17th, I think, which is Sunday when we're doing. I'll be on the TARDIS Zone doing the watch along of the David Tennant, Catherine Tate episode. What's the word? The one with the volcano. Not Volcano Day. Fires of Pompeii. Also, I think it's got Karen Gillian in it as well. So we're going to be watching that, and we'll do the giveaway right then. Fine. So let's talk about the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, a Century, Part 2, 1969. And it is very 1969. Okay, it opens up with the death of the Rolling Stones' Brian Jones, drowning in his pool in a home formerly owned by A.A. Milne. They telegraph that quite cleverly because they have a little statue of Winnie the Pooh and Piglet outside, which I think is outside the actual real home. So it's very clearly Brian Jones, and I think like a lot of the fun of this book, it's kind of more like a workbook. We're trying to work out what everything is that Alan Moore's stuffing into every panel, and Kevin O'Neill. So in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen world, the Rolling Stones is the Purple Orchestra. So I think the League has become, in part, as I was saying, like it's a treasure hunt. That's how you. I think that's how you're supposed to read the thing, as a treasure hunt, to work out what all the pop culture references are, and thereby decode them. And I think trying to work out what Moore is actually saying. So we only get to really what I think Moore is trying to convey with the third volume. So but still, there's a lot of interesting stuff here. So Brian May here ties into the story because he's murdered by this cult, occult cult. Well, it's a very hard word to say. Occult cult led by it's a person based on Aleister Crowley. Is it Haddo is his name, and it's the next part of his apocalyptic plan to bring the Moonchild to bring the apocalypse. I guess the apocalyptic plan is you want to bring the apocalypse. So that's the next stage of that. And at the same time, we got the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. They're arriving back in England after some years' absence. Now they're now no longer working for the British government. They're now working for the mysterious Prospero from the Tempest, Shakespeare's The Tempest, who seems to be the ruler the Burning World, the Burning World, a realm where all fiction goes and resides in one amorphous fictional lump. The league is now very much reduced. It's only Mina, Alan, and Prospero who's become a woman again. Was she a woman in the last one? No, she was a man in the last one. And as an aside, this, by the way, Prospero, you have a character who's both male and female. This is how you show support for the trans community, by making believable three-dimensional characters that can be either men or women, like that interchange between the two. That's how you show support for the trans community, not by treating them trans people as if they're like, have no accountability, and they have no ability, no ability to do anything, and nothing they can ever do is criticize. That's not a way you support a trans community. And this, I want to point out, this character was brought in 2011. This book came out a long time before the whole trans, the trans thing became the most popular calls to champion in the woke world. Okay, so next we also get like this, briefly introduced to the London underworld of Soho, which is again, I grew up in the 80s, but so this is my like stomping ground. This is where essentially where I grew up. I went to school in Camden Town, which is in London, and then you got on the Northern Line up like 5 minutes to Tottenham Court Road. That'll take you to Forbidden Planet bookstore. But right around now, you still have Forbidden Planet, Tottenham Court Road, and then there's Leicester Square, which had all the like the big movie cinemas there. And in between the two, there's essentially Soho, which is the red light district of of London, and it's really seedy. It's this really seedy place. So you're basically there at its beginnings. I was around there, at its towards its end. So we meet the London-based assassin, who starts off as I think trying to be Michael Caine, as a reference to Michael Caine from Get Carter. But later on, he gets teamed up with Lonely from Callan, and Lonely's like, "Hello, Mr. Cat," and his name is cut off, so you never find out if his name's Carter or Callan. So, but I think that it's kind of a good pairing. And fun enough, if you're going to take characters from different fictions and put them together, Lonely and Carter, that actually kind of works. I can totally see that. So they get tied into everything. Other than crime drama being such an important location in pop culture of the 1960s, by Brian Jones's lover, who was there when Brian Jones was murdered. He was drowned in his pool after a very druggy, boozy, and sex-filled evening. His lover was a young Lovejoy, who is Ian McShane's character from the mid-80s TV show Lovejoy. But Ian McShane also plays lots of like gangstery characters, and so I think that's kind of like they're doing a young version of that. By the way, as an aside, I'm going to give you a recommendation for a really good gangster movie. It's not really gangster, but it's about gangsters. It's called 44-Inch Chest. You probably never heard of it. It's got Ian McShane in it, and it's a stunningly great role. John Hurt's in it. Not Danny Dyer. It's basically it's a very, very similar cast to what's that movie? Sexy Beast. I think it's by the same director, but it's really good. It's actually a gangster movie about recrimination and forgiveness. So I really, really recommend that. So anyway, that one's got Ian McShane in it, and I think probably one of his best performances. And Ian McShane has a lot of very, very good performances. Okay, so the League now is based in Mina's defunct superhero team secret hideout. That's something that you'd have no knowledge of if you hadn't read the text story that she was secretly a member of the super team, the Invisible Dr. Val, I think. And because she was invisible, nobody knew that she was female. But it's their secret hideout that they're hiding in now, because they're no longer with MA5. Okay, we have the League investigating the appearance of the Moonchild for the Blazing World, and at the same time we got the Michael Caine's Get Carter or Callan working for the London Mafia, trying to find out what's going on. So we got lots of interesting forces, working with each other, on the same pitch. And they're investigating, as I said earlier, the occult cult, which is so hard to say. Hadado's the occult. Well, how about the occult Hadado's cult? No, it still doesn't work. Which okay, so the plan right now, they have their fingers deep into the 1960s music industry, mirroring reality as well. And given that mix of like money, crime, fame, and occultism, it's really little wonder that became such a massive paedophile ring. And again, starting in the late 60s, and pretty much every child entertainer and everybody who was on the radio in the 70s was seemingly really, really into sleeping with kids, which is kind of a strange thing, I guess. I would have thought it would be hard to find a large group of those people, but no. Apparently, you just went to the BBC. That's all you need to do. So it transpires that Haddo has been moving from body to body over the years to survive. Pretty much identical to Alan Moore's other work from roughly the same era, Providence. Which is again, once I finish League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, then I'm going to review the Providence books. Then I might do V for Vendetta and Marvel Man. That'd be cool. Yeah, so I can get through his whole career. Maybe if I'm doing that, I might as well do From Hell as well. So anyway, so their plan is to take control of Mick Jagger. Because what's his name? Turner is his last name, of the Purple Orchestra during a live concert they're given for the death. Who was it? Not Brian May. What was the name? Brian Jones. Brian May's still alive, isn't he? I think. For Brian Jones. So we get another cryptic meeting with Norton, the raincoat clad time traveler who's trapped in London. And in general, it's really, really helpful understanding the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen timeline to work out what's going on. In the 1930s, they had World War II with was it Herr Hinkel leading Germany's forces. Herr Hinkel was based on Charlie Chaplin's critique of of Hitler. And then in the 1940s, we got the totalitarianism of George Orwell. It's very 1984-ish. And then in the 1950s, as we saw in the Black Dossier, we're back in the beginning of this wonderful new 1950s space age. And of course, there's tons and tons and tons of blink and you miss them cameos. You see Parker from Thunderbirds, Adam Adamant Lives, and on and on and on. So this all comes to head with this massive concert in Hyde Park by the Rolling Stones or the Purple Orchestra, whatever you want to call it. They're clearly the same thing. With Mina dropping acid and having this life-changing trip, which I guess is kind of that's the most general experience that was in this course. That's most relatable experience. Like, oh yes, people have people did do life-changing acid trips and concerts. I think most people may have had that sort of thing happen at some point. So it ends with another one of the century's curious musical sequences, and they had a lot in 1910. They also got them in 2009, and this one's a much more extended one than in 1910. But it feels a little bit more organic to the story. It feels like it fits. It doesn't like take you out of it so much. With Mina tripping out completely in the park with a young Tom Riddle. So we're like tying lots of fictions together, which I guess is the whole point of this. The battle is then moved to like the astral plane where Mina is able to stop Haddo taking possession of Mick Jagger's body, and also taking possession of his power, money, and influence, which I guess is the point of the whole thing. But deeply weakened Haddo takes refuge in Tom Riddle. That's something that's going to be borne out over in the next installment, 2009. And Mina barely makes it back to her body at all. And when she wakes up, when she gets back in, she's like talking gibberish, which makes complete sense to us. But everybody assumes that she's insane, off her head on the acid, and she's institutionalized. So this effectively splits up Alan from Mina and Orlando, and it has the effect of absolutely splitting up the group, which is what we see in A Coda in 1977. It's the height of the punk rock era, and Alan has completely fallen apart without Mina. He's become a heroin addict again, and he's pretty much exactly where he was when we first met him at the beginning of the first book, except immortally young. Orlando starts becoming male again. He can't put up with Alan. So he says he's off to join the army, effectively separating our three heroes. So there is no League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. We have the three heroes separated, lost, and alone. So and that's the cliffhanger where we leave it going into the final story, the final book. The text story, Minions of the Moon, talks a bit about the Gallywag, the Gollywog's origin as a space creature. So, and that's actually, it's very good. It's just very dense. It's very, again, much of this book is a lot of hard work. It talks about also the adventures that he and Mina have on the moon. We got Amazon women on the moon, and was it the last men? Was it the first men in the moon as well? The H.G. Wells story. All those are referenced together. So there is a question though: is it any good? Which is not such an easy question to answer. As I said, it's a lot of work to go through. It does feel like a kind of high stakes geeky pub quiz when you're trying to work out who is who in every panel. There's a gazillion details in every panel. So if you find that an interesting distraction, something that vaguely interesting, but if you're like me and you obsess about everything, it's very stressful. Now, hilarious, by the way, I discovered that the names of the prostitutes are on the cards in the phone box, which is something I really remember from when I was a kid. I used to go to school in, Camden Town. Oh, yeah, I've said all this already. So, if you will go through Soho, you'll see the public phone boxes, and they all have these little cards in them with prostitutes' numbers and names and come see Mandy, whatever. So they have in one panel you see all these cards of different prostitutes in a phone box, and they're all names of British comic books from the from the 60s or 70s, which I thought was tons of fun, and it's just lots and lots and lots of details. As to the actual point of what Alan Moore is actually trying to say here, we only really get to it in the next issue, but this is as an installment, it's I would say mostly harmless. It's it does what it's supposed to, and again, if you're into it, you're into it. If you're not, I'm enjoying it, even though I find it a little bit stressful, and I know where the story is going now because I've read the next one. And I think as a body actually says something quite interesting. So there you go. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Century Volume 2, 1969. My review of it. 2009 review. I think I'll get it done early next week, and then maybe I'll start on the novellas. Before getting on to what's the last one? The Tempest. I tell you, Tempest is it's like a brick-sized volume, and each panel in it takes about 10 minutes work. So but it's still I'm kind of enjoying it. I am enjoying it, but I get the feeling that Alan Moore wants to make his audience work to read as well. He's I think he's found the best way to protect his properties is to make them way too intelligent than an average person can access. So so that's why I think he's made them so dense and so much hard work. But there you go for you. That's my point of review. My name is Celia Beck, and the Rabbi from Another Planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.